garden planted though.
I got gardens planted, but our mowing's not done.
Yeah,
It'll be there when I get back.
it'll stop raining. It's supposed to rain, I think, around like 6 though. So
We went to Ankeny and went to church after we went to the one reception thing out here of the Pierce girls and that. And we came back and Marie was like, it had rained a little bit out after church. We came back and Marie seen our buckets and had water in it. She goes, it must have rained here.
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
But it came down, didn't it?
Yeah.
like to welcome everyone to commencement. It's pretty exciting that we actually get to meet here in person and on the date it's typically scheduled, so we're really excited about that. This year's class is just a fantastic class. We've been through quite a little bit in this last year and a half, but we're just thankful we made it to the finish line. So congratulations. It's my pleasure to introduce our senior speaker, Kaylee Conrad. Our senior speaker is chosen each year by the high school staff members, and Kaylee is an excellent choice. Kaylee has been involved with cross country, track, dance, wrestling, speech, student council, National Honor Society, choir, and dance. Kaylee has been at Baxter since preschool. She also, in the fall, she plans to attend Miami University, and she's going to co-major in public health and pre-medical studies. Katie will then go on to medical school to pursue a doctorate degree. It is my pleasure to welcome students, families, and faculty to celebrate the graduating class of 2021. Every one of you have made an impact on the graduates who sit here today. Our class has been waiting to walk across this stage and receive a diploma since we sat in those tiny chairs during preschool. Baxter has given us many opportunities, and our class has been through numerous challenges together. From sports being dropped to 1A, to our school being renovated, to the COVID-19 pandemic, our class has faced these difficulties with some, but little complaint. These challenges allowed us to come together as a class, so we know going forward that in the tough situations, it's the people you surround yourself with that can make all the difference. Our class was able to be that support system for one another. Also from these challenges, we learned some skills that can lead to achievement later on in life. Now, as we move on from Baxter to become functioning members of society, hopefully, we want to give some tips we picked up on how to survive high school to the rest of the student body. So, here are a few pieces of advice my class wishes to give. Some dealt with friendship. Be yourself. Wear what you want, do what you want, who you want, and most importantly, make new friends. If you start high school thinking that you won't make any new friends, you're just going to make it worse for yourself because you probably won't allow yourself to make any new friends. Find your people and don't let them go. These are the people that will support you through the difficult and happy times. Sometimes all you need is one person to be your own personal cheerleader. Now, let's expose some of the people who gave advice about schoolwork. Get your assignments done on time. Do not wait until the last week of school to do them. That was said by Jalen. Get your work done on time. Don't put it off to the last minute. It just makes it harder on yourself. And that was said by our homecoming king, Brad. I wonder how they could have learned this. And some dealt with the nostalgic moments that high school has to offer. High school goes by fast, so be sure to cherish each and every moment in high school, no matter what, even if it is good or bad. High school isn't permanent. Who you are during high school doesn't define who you will be 10 years from now, and don't let anyone tell you differently. You decide who you are and who you want to be. Invest in yourself and the person you're becoming. I think that is some pretty great advice. Whether high school was the best of times or worst of times for some of these individuals, I guarantee everyone had at least one standout memory, at least one friend, and at least one opportunity they were given by Baxter. With the majority of our class being together for over 13 years, there have been many experiences our classes had to conquer together. From learning how to tie shoes, first grade rocket math, to Bill Nye the Science Guy videos, our class has been through many different stages. In elementary school, we had a talent show where Brad and Micah lip-synced to Jason Aldean. That was pretty unforgettable. Let's also not forget the short class field trip to Springbrook in 4th grade. We all know how that went. You can't really stay overnight at a camp that doesn't have water. We learned to be bucket fillers. We learned the churning butter song from Mrs. Bishop. We knew Miss Oswald was the best tooth puller, and we learned how to have fun as a class. Having elementary school at Baxter allowed us to become acquainted with one another, and this allowed us to transition into the rest of our school years as friends. In middle school, there were so many awkward awkward moments that luckily got to be documented by the release of Snapchat. I remember our first snowball and how nobody knew at our first school dance, you are indeed supposed to dance. We were also lucky to have had Mr. Vaughn as our science teacher and got to hear the, "Good morning, it's a beautiful day, it's great to be here, and it is a pleasure and honor to teach each and every one of you mantra every day." And that was such a great way to start class. In middle school, we started to grow up and gain our own individual personalities, and this helped solidify us as a class. We learned in middle school that some makeup looks are not flattering, that drama is inevitable, and that Miss Larson was an amazing English teacher. Finally, in high school, our class welcomed some members along the way, and we have all shared some memorable moments together. We reached some pinnacle comedic moments, maybe some that should not be mentioned, most of those including Andrew and Sean. And many revolve around the times in science class when things may have gotten out of hand, as Miss Brown tried to control our experiments, such as when Jalen got electrocuted or when the chemistry class blew the breakers. We had some good moments during the bolt battles as well, which for those who don't know are mini games we'd play during homecoming. Because even though it was known that our class would never win, we were always ready to go out and lose, especially at tug of war. We had an awesome prom that showed how well we can clean up, an amazing class field trip, and senior staff softball that allowed us to make some final memories together as a class. In high school, we continued to grow, and we still are now, because now we have our own opinions and aspirations. We learned that homecoming week was chaos, that our teachers' doors were always open, and that even though we all have our own interests, we could come together to respect each other's differences, because no one else could say they were the class of 2021. It's difficult for me now to talk about the hads and the words, because that's in the past tense, and it shows that we're moving on. It was also difficult for me to summarize all of our memories together as a class, because not just one memory stands out above the others. It's all these memories combined that create the class we have today. Let's all take a few seconds to reflect on one favorite memory from high school. Everyone got one? Okay, now start crying. I'm kidding. Gianni has already been crying all week, so we do not need any more tears. Let's remember these memories with joy, because this is a time in our lives we are growing into the people we will become. Whether that person be foreshadowed by our senior superlative or someone entirely new. Let's embrace this new individual and go along in our life's journey, but let's also remember how your future self came to be. Remember the small town with a population of just over 1,000 people with no stoplights that helped you along the way. The teachers, the students, even the square pieces of pizza at lunch helped us to become the people we are meant to be. It is because of the guidance we are shown at Baxter that helped create the foundation to our futures. And I may be a little biased, but I think that Elton John said it best. There's really no point in asking, what if? The only question worth asking is, what's next? So, don't be restricted by the what ifs of the future, because they will be nothing compared to the gratification of obtaining the future you have always imagined. So, graduating class of 2021, whatever is next in our futures, let's go out to this world with these memories as our guide. Thank you, Baxter. We did it!
At this time, we're going to have our Baxter Band perform with our senior members, Kaylee Conradi and Lexi Sampson. The band will be playing a medley from the Broadway musical Wicked under the direction of Miss Jamie Flanagan. the ceremony, pretty exciting part, a chance to recognize our seniors and lots of scholarships that our community has put together. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Travis D., our high school guidance counselor.
The Baxter Community Educational Scholarships Group would like to thank all their donors and volunteers, as well as the Baxter community, for their continued support of the organization. With your help, they have been able to provide continued educational opportunities for our Baxter graduates. Because of the wonderful support of the community, the organization is proud to be celebrating its 26th anniversary of awarding scholarships to graduating seniors. This year, the organization is awarding over $50,000 in scholarships. The organization awards scholarships to students who have shown involvement and leadership qualities not only in school for high school academic achievement, but also for those who have excelled in a variety of ways at Baxter Community Schools. Whether it be high achievement in academics, athletics, volunteerism, or leadership in the school and community. The organization awards its Student Role Model Scholarship to 2 students who have proven to be excellent role models, both academically and extracurricular-wise. They have helped through their academics and extracurricular leadership and shine a positive light on both Baxter and the Baxter Community School District. With their fundraising events throughout the year, we are pleased to honor these 2 students with this scholarship. Kaylee Conradi and Micah Kearns. The late Mr. and Mrs. Geisler of Mingo set up a foundation to donate funds to worthy Jasper County organizations. We are very appreciative that they have considered the Baxter Community Educational Scholarships Group such an organization and have given generously to help further Baxter students' education since 2000. We award the Geisler Pinkwood Charitable Corporation Scholarship to the following students: Mackenzie Esslinger, Sophie Meyer, Micah Kearns, Kaylee Conradi, Cassie Berg, Brooke Bacon, Brad Matthews, Madison Pierce, Morgan Keeley, Olivia Aker, Janie Gowdy, Cale Johnston, and Brianna Dolke. Ike and Flora Milligan, Pat and Sid Milligan, and their families have have also been awarding scholarships through the organization since its inception in 1995. We are proud to present the Milligan Family Foundation Scholarship this year to Morgan Keeler. For the past 10 years, State Savings Bank of Baxter has sponsored a scholarship for a student that has participated and excelled in athletics and or extracurricular activities. This year, the recipients are Maddie Pierce, Sophie Meyer, Micah Kearns, and Cale Johnson. Joanne Allen Keeley was a 1953 Baxter graduate. She had 4 children and 7 grandchildren graduate from Baxter and presently has 1 granddaughter in this graduating class, as well as 2 great-granddaughters enrolled in the Baxter Community School District, along with a great-grandson enrolled in the local preschool. Joanne is a lifelong supporter of our school and community. It is with great pride that we're able to award the Joanne Allen Keeley Memorial Scholarship on behalf of her family to Morgan Keeley. The family of the late Bob McWhorter of Baxter has continuously supported the Baxter School and community and established the Bobby McWhorter Scholarship to help students further their education. The student who meets the requirements for this scholarship for school involvement and achievements at Baxter is Cale Johnston. Former Baxter graduates, Jerry Loopy and Bonnie Orr Loopy, set up their scholarship in 1997. As alumni of the Iowa State University, the Jerry and Bonnie Orr Loopy Scholarship is awarded to a well-rounded student planning to continue their education at Iowa State University. Their scholarship is awarded this year to Sophie Meyer. In 1996, the Dale and Joanne Tipton and Leroy and Claire Crampy families began awarding the Tipton-Crampy Family Scholarship to students furthering their education after graduating from Baxter. This year, their scholarship is awarded to Kaylee Conradi. that Jake Morton takes pride in being able to help the Baxter Community School graduates continue their education after high school. The Jake Mormon Memorial Scholarship has provided this opportunity to many graduates over the years. The scholarship is being awarded this year to the following graduates: Lexi Sampson, Mackenzie Esslinger, Janie Gowdy, Haley Conradi, Haley Rainsbarger, Haley Conradi, Morgan Keeley, Olivia Ager, Sophie Meyer, and Sean Finch. Hallie Rainsbarger. We are happy to announce the addition of a new scholarship this year, thanks to the family of Hans Lenz. Hans Lenz came to Iowa as a young child immigrating from Germany. His mother met Wayne Pogue when he was stationed in Germany, and she moved to Iowa to marry Wayne and make Iowa home. The Baxter School and community were very welcoming. Hans graduated from the Baxter School District and made Baxter his home his entire adult life. Between his love of cars and being raised on a farm, Hans had an appreciation for those that work with their hands and who could make things work. These scholarships are being awarded to young people who have the desire to make things work and who have also had the joy of calling Baxter home. The first recipients of the Hans Lenz Scholarship are being awarded to Cassie Bird, Sean Finch, Kaylee Spangenberg, and Marion Ziesman. The final Baxter Community Educational Scholarship will be the Richard and Karen Deitch Memorial Scholarship, which will be presented by family member Marie Deitch Van Beek.
Giving a scholarship was one way of supporting their community. Rich and Karen were longtime Baxter business owners. Rich served on the city council, the Baxter Fire Department, and was on the first Baxter ambulance crew. They worked very hard. The Deitch family currently has a fifth generation attending the Baxter Community School. The first graduate from our family was Donald Deitch back in 1923. To determine the winners of our scholarship, we look at 5 categories: academics, work, activities, community service, and the answers to our essay questions. All 5 categories are treated equally. This year, it was very difficult choosing winners of a very impressive class. Our first 2 scholarships for $8,000 go to Morgan Keeley and Sophie Meyer. We have have four $2,000 scholarships for Maddie Pierce, Jamie Dowdy, Haley Conradi, and Mackenzie Esslinger. Scholarship for $1,000 to Mary Ziesman.
Thank you, Marie. This year's David Porter Memorial Scholarship goes to Jalen Porter. We will now have the Forrest and Martha Halverson Scholarship being presented by Sam Good.
Good, and I'm here to award the Forrest and Martha Halverson Educational Scholarship. I'd like to tell you just a little about the Halversons giving this scholarship. Forrest was born in 1914 and went to country schools near Laurel and graduated from Laurel High School. Excuse me. He married Martha Conger in 1940 and they moved to the farm southwest of Laurel and lived there all their lives. Frosty and Martha never had children of their own. In 1946, they were asked to take in a 6-year-old little boy to live with them. They raised the little boy with a standard farm family life. Besides fields and livestock, Frosty and Martha also had harness racing horses that they bred and raised. Frosty trained the horses to race with cart and driver on a practice track he made at the farm. He would normally train 8 to 10 horses a year. And for several years, as a family of 3, they went to many county fairs around Iowa for harness races. The little boy they took to race grew up, left home, went into the Army because he couldn't afford to go to college. At that time, Frosty was financially unable to help him. And after returning from the service, young man married, had a family of his own, and Frosty and Martha were still family schools that could have a $2,000 scholarship at any college, university, or trade school in or out of the state. The students would have the scholarship renewable from year to year for 4 years till their graduation. The recipients are to be a student that would have a difficult time to fund further education or training without this. And it was Frosty's hope that any student could have a chance to learn a trade or get the education to help with their future. There's a quotation that seems to sum up what it means for every scholarship that's been given here today. And someday, Hopefully each of us will have an opportunity to pass it on. I shall pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer it nor neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. And now, on behalf of the Forrester Martha Halverson Education Scholarship Committee, myself, my husband Larry Good, the little boy that was raised by Halversons, we gladly present the Baxter High School Scholarship to Brad Matthews.
On behalf of Lynette Parker Ritchie, her family is offering a scholarship to two students who are entering into the medical field. Lynette and her family wanted to give back to those that supported her in her lengthy journey and hard-fought battle against cancer. Her wish was to support and honor students entering into the medical field. This year's Parker Ritchie Caregiver Scholarship goes to Kaylee Conradi and Hallie Rainsbarger. At this time, we would like to recognize our graduates who have participated in fine arts for 4 years. Olivia Ager, dance. Kaylee Conradi, band, choir, and speech. Janny Gowdy, dance. Morgan Keeley, speech and dance. Lexi Sampson, band. Please give them another round of applause. We would also like to take this time to recognize our graduates who have participated in FFA for 4 years. Brandy Lust, Maren Ziesman, and Carly Giron. We would like to recognize our graduates who have earned additional scholarships from around the county and state. These scholarships have been included in the program. Please give these students a round of applause also. At this time, my pleasure to bring up Tracy Shepley, the Baxter Booster Club president, who will help present plaques sponsored by the Booster Club recognizing all seniors who participated in at least one sport for all 4 years of their high school career. Olivia Aker, cheerleading. Brooke Bacon, basketball. Cassie Berg, soccer. Jacob Vogel, basketball and soccer. Joshua Vogel, basketball. Kaylee Conradi, cross country and track. Mackenzie Esslinger, basketball and softball. Sean Finch, cross country and soccer. Jeanette Gowdy, cheerleading. Sarah Grimes, cheerleading. Cale Johnston, basketball. Micah Kearns, football and wrestling. Morgan Keeley, cheerleading. Andrew Clemmy, basketball and baseball. Brad Matthews, wrestling and baseball. Sophie Meyer, volleyball and basketball. Maddie Pierce, volleyball, basketball, track, and softball. Jalen Porter, baseball.
Hallie Rainsbarger, volleyball. Lexi Sampson, volleyball and basketball. Carly Zoronis, track. And Maren Ziesman, basketball and track. Please give them a round of applause. One of the lifebloods of Baxter with these kids is participating in all of our extracurricular activities, and you can tell by this class, they were very active through their 4 years. I have 2 awards, both from the Girls and Boys Athletic Unions, which are their highest honors they can bestow to each school. So it's my pleasure to announce this year's Bernie Saga Award winner. This award is presented annually to a graduating senior who best exemplifies a patriotic spirit with strong religious and moral convictions, living and professing the qualities of honesty, integrity, sportsmanship, believing both games and life should be conducted by the rules. This year's recipient possesses all of these qualities. He has been instrumental in setting the bar for the Baxter Bolts era. He was an outstanding leader both on and off the field his entire career. He was a multi-sport captain, a multi-year and multi-sport athlete. But what truly sets this young man apart is not just his gifts on the field, but also his character and class off the field. Congratulations to this year's Bernie Saga Award winner, Micah Kearns. And the Girls Union gives the E. Wayne Cooley Scholarship. This is in recognition of an outstanding accomplishment, achieving and mastering the criteria necessary to be considered among the elite of the Iowa Girl. The Baxter Award this year for the E. Wayne Cooley Scholarship goes to Sophie Meyer. Members of the class in a couple different areas. They're going to rise and turn and be recognized by all of you. The first one is our Senior National Honor Society members. These students are wearing gold honor stoles today. This honor is based on 4 criteria: scholarship, leadership, service, and character. All students with a 3.5 GPA become eligible for membership after their first semester of their sophomore year and then are evaluated by the faculty on this criteria. It's the highest academic honor available that can be bestowed on a student at Baxter High School during their high school career. Our 2021 members are Olivia Aker, Kaylee Conradi, Mackenzie Esslinger, Jeanette Gowdy, Morgan Keeley, Cale Johnston, Brad Matthews, Sophie Meyer, Maddie Pierce, and Hallie Rainsbarger. We have seniors wearing red cords with us today, and these cords are students that registered to give blood at least 2 or more times while they were in high school. Those students are Olivia Aker, Mackenzie Esslinger, Jeanette Gowdy, Sophie Meyer, Kaylee Spangenberg, and Maren Ziesman. We have a silver cord program at Baxter Community Schools. These are students that participated 120 plus hours of community service during their 4-year high school career. Those students wearing silver cords today are Kaylee Conradi, Mackenzie Esslinger, Jeanette Gowdy, Sophie Meyer, and Hallie Rainsbarger. And the following students have maintained a cumulative 3.0 GPA each year over a 4-year high school career, and they are wearing gold honor cords today. And those students are Olivia Aker, Brooke Bacon, Cassie Berg, Kaylee Conradi, Mackenzie Esslinger, Janie Gowdy, Sarah Grimes, Micah Kearns, Morgan Keeley, Brad Matthews, Sophie Meyer, Maddie Pierce, Hallie Rainsbarger, Lexi Sampson, and Kaylee Spangenberg. At this time, it's my pleasure to honor the top of this class, and obviously that is the top of top academically with our 2021 class. This year, we have three salutatorians that graduate with a GPA of 3.9. Our salutatorians this year are Olivia Aker, Sophie Meyer, and Hallie Rainsbarger. And at this time, we would like to recognize the valedictorians of Baxter Community School 2021. This year, we have 4 valedictorians. Each of these 4 graduate with a GPA of 4.0. It is my privilege to announce Kaylee Conradi, Mackenzie Esslinger, Jeanette Gowdy, and Morgan Keeley. Getting very close to the main event. I know Mr. Finch is getting a little itchy. I told him we will get there. But I am going to take one last opportunity to address our class of 2021. This will be the last opportunity, so I'm going to take full advantage of it. Today, we heard some great messages from scholarship recipients, presenters, from Ms. Conradi, who had a fantastic message. And you're going to hear some of the same themes here. So, what I want to talk to you today about is the dash. And you probably think, what is the dash? Well, track people are thinking he's going to talk about the 100-meter dash. Or you gourmet aficionados think I'm going to talk about recipes and a dash of this. What most of you probably think of when I said dash is how quick we go from 5th period down to the lunch line to be the first ones in lunch. But what I'm really going to talk about is the dash that's going to be the most important dash you will ever do. October 2nd, 1946, and May 7th, 2021. October 2nd, 1946, May 7th, 2021. As many of you know, I lost my mom this week. She passed away. And those 2 dates are the date she was born and the date she died. And these are 2 dates that all of us can't predict. I always say control the controllables. Well, those 2 dates you're probably not going to be able to control. Obviously, we're blessed with the parents that brought you into this world, and we may or may not be able to make decisions or choices what that last date will be. But I want to focus on the most important, and that's when you go to a cemetery and walk through, you see those prominent dates. But we're missing the most important part of all, and that's the dash. The dash between those 2 dates. Because the dash is really what tells our life story. That's the beginning to the end, is really the dash. So, in the United States, the life expectancy is somewhere around 78 years old. So, I know Mr. Wagner's here. I know he'll probably fact check my math. It is not my strength. But at 78 years, where you're at now, you essentially ran about 22 or 23% of your dash. And I looked at this stage right here that's around 20 feet. So again, if you take a look at 20 feet and 23% of your life, your dash is only right about there right now. You have all of this dash left in front of you. I think it's important as you continue on. Some of you rocked that first 4 feet. You had such an amazing first 18 years. Some of you, so, and you're ready to dash on out the door, and you have great things ahead of you. But either way, what you have to do is forget the mistake and don't repeat the mistake. Sort of in football, I know Mike has heard this a million times, we do next play. And I know football, everybody thinks I love football, I do, but it is really just the avenue here at school to keep teaching lessons, whether it's math or social studies or cross country. Football is one of my vehicles. We say next play. And here's why we say next play, because if we make a mistake and we worry about that last mistake, guess what? We're going to make the same mistake again or a bigger mistake. And on the other side of that, when we get really excited, want to pat ourselves on the back and keep thinking about that last play, now you're not making the next play. Again, not football, but life. Next play, next play. And the thing is, the dash is always changing, it's always moving. It's not a set target. But what I do know about the dash is this. If you do not include people in your dash, and you do not bring those people in, and you influence them, and let them influence you, that dash is going to be not as full as it could be. I know my mom had a huge impression on my dash, and I hope I had a little impression on her dash. I want to tell you a story. Last story I'm going to tell you. Two men didn't have very long left to live in their lives, and they were sharing a hospital room. One on the left, his bed was up against the wall. The one on the right, his bed was up against the window. And the nurse would come in, and she would take care of them and listen to their stories. And the man against the wall over here, he was a guy that loved to be on the porch and look out and just experience life. And he asked his friend, Buddy over there, if he could just share what he could see out the window. And he was doing this for a couple days. And the guy on the side by the window would tell him, oh, it's so beautiful, the trees today, and you should see the birds and the blue sky. And the next day he'd say, Buddy, can you please tell me again? And he'd say, we have all these awesome married couples walking hand in hand, and we have the kids are out playing ball again, and the guy would just take it all in. Then the last night, he said, I know it's night, but can you just tell me what you see? And he said, oh, the lights of the city are beautiful. The storefronts are lit up. The stars in the sky are amazing. And the guy on the left by the wall closed his eyes and went to sleep. When he woke up the next day, his friend, his roommate, for those few days was gone. He had died. And his bed was out of the room. So he's yelling to the nurse, hitting his button. She comes in and says, I know my friend went to heaven, but if there's any way that you could move me over to the window, just please move me over to the window. And of course the nurse said, absolutely. So she wheels him over to the window, and he works all his strength to get up, and he sees a big brick building right outside his window, and he yells to the nurse, something's wrong, nurse. I can't see what my friend was explaining to me. We have to move this window. And she says, you really didn't know? He's worked up. No, what do you mean? I don't know. She said, you really don't know? And he said, no. She said, he was blind. He couldn't have seen that if he wanted to see that. But his last gift to you was to give you happiness, to give you joy. And I think as we think through that, those final blessings can happen at the end of this stage, or those blessings can also happen in the fifth foot right here. And as I leave you on this journey today, and it is going to be a journey for all you, I want to ask you one question. Why do we really do what we do? And everybody in here, think about that. Why do we do what we do? What is our GPS destination on the decisions that we're making every day? What is the end game really in all of this? And what I'm going to tell you, when really the rubber meets the road, it isn't going to matter what car you drove or what house you have or what your bank account is. It's going to matter what that dash was between your two numbers. I know I say this all the time, leave the place better than you found it. You're doing that here after 12 years of graduating from Baxter, but when you leave these doors, go leave this place better than you found it. Mary Luther left this place better than she found it. I know you're going to do that as well. So work hard, play hard, and live that dash. Congrats, class of 21. All right, Mr. Northrup is in the house somewhere. If I can bring up Mr. Northrup, okay, Dr. Clapper is going to fill in for Mr. Northrup. Sorry, we always turn left or turn right. So, at this time, Dr. Clapper, the following students have met the standards set forth by the Baxter Board of Education. First row, second row, you can see. Olivia Grace Aker, daughter of Jason and Renee Aker. Brooke Lauren Bacon, the daughter of Bill Bacon and Karen Bacon. Cassidy Ann Berg, the daughter of Andrea and Eric Berg. Jacob Lee Bogle, the son of Linda Smith and Mike Bogle. Joshua David Bogle, the son of Linda Smith and Mike Bogle. Kaylee Ann Conradi, the daughter of Martin and Teresa Conradi. Brianna Ray Dalkey, the daughter of Nancy and Drew Dalkey. Mackenzie Ray Esslinger, the daughter of Dale and Renee Esslinger. Sean Thomas Finch, the son of Brian and Karen Finch. Jeanette Elizabeth Dowd Gowdy, the daughter of Laurie and Kevin Gowdy. Sarah Mae Grimes, the daughter of Mike and Becky Grimes. Cale Allen Johnston, the son of Steve and Joni Johnston. Micah Stone Kearns, the son of Josh and April Kearns. Morgan Elizabeth Keeley, the daughter of Marty and Liz Keeley. Andrew Douglas Clemmy, son of Doug and Julie Clemmy. Brandy Lynn Lust, the daughter of Alicia Lust and Tim Bodish and Randy and Angie Lust. Bradley James Matthews, the son of Dave Matthews. Sophie Nicole Meyer, the daughter of Troy and Debbie Meyer. Maddie Jade Pierce, the daughter of Steve Pierce and Misty and Jared Fontanini. Jalen David Porter, the son of Rodney and Stacy Porter. Hallie Susan Rainsparker, daughter of Charlie and Susan Rainsparker. Alexis Marie Sampson, the daughter of Jeremy and Lindsay Sampson. Kaylee Rachel Spangenberg, the daughter of Charles and Christina Spangenberg. Carly Lynn Zoronis, the daughter of Dale and Beth Zoronis. Aaron Beth Ziesman, the daughter of Brad and Becky Ziesman and Missy and Richard Oakley. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my extreme privilege and honor to now present to you the 2021 graduating class of Baxter Community Schools. Seniors have asked that I invite you to receiving line and also to see our new high school if you've not. So if you go down the hallway and turn after the cafeteria, they will be lined up in both our new middle school's commons and our high school commons. So again, go out and congratulate our seniors, and thanks for coming.